Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All those things we did not get to during the course of the show today. Some catch up from yesterday. I went to the doctor yesterday, and it's so funny, man. Like I think the doctor thought I was doing shtick.
I just realized I probably should have gone to the bathroom before we did this. That's okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
I just need to pee.
You want to go now? We could restart.
I mean, you've already brought it up.
Yeah, you should probably go.
That's true. Do you want to just go ahead and tell your story? While
Not
I'm gone?
really. No, I'll wait for you.
Oh man.
We're gonna just put pause. Okay, so we'll pause. So you
Hit
don't
a
have
pause,
to.
and then we'll be right back in a jiffy.
Okay. And we're back. Betty Rock is back. I got to be honest, you guys didn't get to hear anything. It was just a pause for you. But for us, that felt longer than a number one, honestly.
What? No.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
No.
Was there a decision that you had to make?
You can go in there and
No.
see what you want to think about it.
No,
I'm
but
not going to
you
risk
probably
that.
flushed.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk that.
flushing ain't going to help none of that.
Well, you bought some like vanilla airspray
I did.
today.
So
She
exciting.
did go nuts. Like Bath and Body.
They have a sale, and
I
they
get
get me
it.
every time. We've talked about this.
I get
When
it.
you're on an email list, you should just go ahead and delete it. But I don't. My eyes are drawn to where they say, we're having a sale.
You have
And
no
then I just
discipline
do
when
it.
it comes to
I don't. You're right.
to
I don't.
Bath and
I
Body.
admit it. I have a problem.
That's okay. Everybody's got their little vices, and
so I
that's
got
yours.
the warm vanilla sugar.
And it's been smelling good. Gavin got something. Where did you get? Did you get Bath and Body cologne too?
Yeah, I went and got a cologne. I got 2 lotions because whenever my wife accidentally touches my elbow, she's always like, "Ooh, they're so ashy," and "Ooh, they're
You
so."
got lotions as a 28-year-old man?
Yeah,
Weird. Okay.
yeah. There shouldn't be a negative stigma
I've
around
never
that.
used a lotion in my life. Like like even suntan lotion I don't like. I hate lotion on my hands. My wife has this thing like she probably don't want me sharing this, but like eczema or whatever on her back, and so like she can't reach it,
Sure.
and so,
So you
she's
have
like,
to-
"Will you put the lotion on me?" I'm like, "Oh, I hate it." Like I'm like, I hate
Oh,
this
your life
so
is so
much.
hard.
I hate it so much, and because then she's like, "You have to put it in your hands, and you got to warm it up before you put it on my back, so it's
Ew.
not cold."
Well,
And I
was
don't like it.
I was telling my wife that I thought it was a little sad that, to be honest, one of my favorite parts of my day is putting the lotion on.
Oh my goodness!
Because I got something that like matches the cologne that I bought, so I'm trying to build
Nice. And it
this, like,
smells good.
good smell. Yeah, because like I don't want you guys or Betty, mainly Betty,
Because you
to
sit on the same side.
be in a room and be like, man, the BO on this guy
Yes,
over here
I
can't be
appreciate
managed.
that. Thank
so
you.
I just
Thank you.
I when I'm around smelly people or
Yeah.
people who just have like a natural to them,
Yeah.
then you know what? I don't want to be that person.
Yeah, we have a coworker that like we used to have one that wore so much cologne, and then we
okay.
have one that every once in a while you're like, "Whoa, okay, you could use."
And
a
I don't
little
want to be
cologne."
one of
I
those
know.
either.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a balance between smelling like a, you
Yeah.
know,
I've always thought that though, women say that everybody's cologne smells differently on them.
That's true.
I don't know if it was you or my wife. It's probably you because my wife doesn't wear anything. Talking about wearing, yeah, it was you because you wore a scent that somebody told you about.
Yes, this girl in Houston, she works for a radio station down there that we were there for an event, and she smelled so good. And that's another thing girls can do. I was like, I didn't even know her name, and I was like, listen, you smell fantastic.
So funny.
What is it that? But girls see that as a
Yeah.
huge compliment. And she told me what it was. I went ahead and I bought it. Well, no, I didn't buy it. My parents got it for me for my birthday. I tried on, and it just does not smell the same as it did on her.
Oh, that's sad.
Her, it smelled younger.
Yeah.
Me, it smelled like an old funeral home bathroom.
And that's
I
not what you're
just
going
did
for.
not. I wasn't going for that, so I returned it.
Yeah, so I guess your body chemistry alters the
Yeah.
makeup or the smell, the scent of the cologne
Yeah.
or the perfume. But like guys' cologne, I contend if you get Drakkar, it smells the same on everybody. Like it doesn't change per
Or
the
Axe
guy.
body spray,
Yeah, it's
like-
the same smell. Now they have different scents themselves, but it's the same smell. But like Gavin, I'm like, put your arms out like you're being arrested, and I'm gonna walk near you and try to smell your wrist. And I kind of got away, but I didn't want to get that close.
Well, yeah, you'd have to get too close for comfort.
Absolutely.
You know
So-
what? You can. Just let me be a neutral smell for the rest of my life.
You're
too.
good. Yeah, that's all. That's what you are. So that's good though. I don't wear cologne. I never have. I tried
fair.
like when I was in high school, and probably tried too much cologne. Like I tend to overdo things in my life, and so I was like, nah, I'm not doing that anymore.
I like it. I'm not gonna go buy hundreds of dollars cologne. Like I primarily survive off of the $9.99 stuff from TJ Maxx.
Well, you probably lost your mind that time we were talking to Michael Tate from Newsboys, and he was talking about his cologne because he loves cologne, and he was almost embarrassed when he told us that his cologne was $500.
Yeah. Well, and he said mine, and he's like, "This is like a pungent smell." I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
That's
it was
what
crazy.
I wear.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because we had you guys do a cologne off thing. Yeah. So anyway, back to the story before Tinkle Time.
It was a tactical way.
Yeah, and so I go to the doctor, and I'm there, and my wife was like, okay, he's asking me all these questions, like, okay, now tell him the things you wanted to tell him. And I'm like, okay, so my shoulder's doing better, I got this going on, and I asked him about the numbness in the side of my head. I'm like, I've been getting this weird tingling numbness in the side of my head, and a headache and things like that. And to my surprise, he was like not concerned. He's like, do you hear like a muffling in your ears or anything? I'm like, no, not really. He's like, oh, okay. How long's it been going on? I'm like, maybe 6 months here and there. It's sporadic. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, you know what? I wouldn't be that worried about it. Like, really? He's like, yeah, I think it's just like a nerve on the side of your head or something that gets aggravated. I'm like, okay, then.
That's great.
And then my wife goes, well, what about the other thing? I'm like, what other thing? I have no idea. And she goes, the memory. I'm like, yeah, like he thought I was being funny, but I totally forgot. And so I'm like, look, man,
night.
I said I'm having trouble remembering things. Like if I'm in an interview and a thought comes up that they've said something, and I go, okay, I want to ask another question, I have to immediately write it down. And if I don't, all of a sudden they're talking, and I'm trying so hard to remember what they were saying and what I wanted to ask the question, and I can't do it. I have trouble remembering people's names and things like that. Or if I'm on something, multitasking is getting, like, focus is really difficult for me right now. And I don't know why. I'm like, it wasn't like this before. I got through life because I had a great memory. Like I got dyslexia, so I couldn't read well, so I would memorize things. And so that is a big part of my life that feels like it is slipped a little. And that's where I don't know if it's old age or if it's something else. So they made up like a thing to go to a neurologist to see if there's something going on with that. So that's my next thing. But all of that to say, at one point during the examination, he goes, oh, and hey, good job too today. I'm like, for what? He goes, yeah, I see your sticker. Because I was wearing my good job sticker that you gave me, Rock, from work. I'd forgotten to take it off. I did something good and I got a good job sticker. And then I had to explain to him the whole concept of the good job stickers. And then I went ahead and told him about breaking the thing in the studio. So that was funny.
Good times. Did you show him the video?
I did not show him the video.
Missed opportunity.
The video does not exist. Have you not forgotten that? There is no video proof.
What? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Atta girl.
I have nothing.
Thank you.
Maybe I have memory loss.
Yes, maybe so. Maybe we should all just forget this right now. And so I was telling him that story, and he got a kick out of that. But nowhere did he say that. He goes, well, maybe we should look into some anger stuff. Didn't say a word. But then, this is really weird too. The nurse. So my wife and I go to all our appointments together just for that reason, because I will forget something. Or she wants to know what the doctor actually said, because I will paraphrase, or I'll take part of what he said and remember that and forget the rest. So she's looking out for my best health. But she looks at, and we had been cutting up. This nurse is so nice, and we're laughing and everything, and we seem like this happy couple. And then she goes, well, I have to ask this. Is anybody hurting or threatening you at home? And my wife and I just look at each other, and I'm like, define hurt. Can it be emotional?
Well, I remember doing something like that, as young, and my mom was still taking me to all these appointments, and I remember them saying that, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, oh, this would be funny. I'm like, I don't think so. And I did that, and afterwards, my mom's like, they take that stuff real serious.
Yeah.
You better not say that again.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I've seen instances where the joke turned into Child Protective Services being called. So it's not a joke to them.
Yeah, because as I thought about it, like, it is, when you think about the ramifications of it, it's a very serious question.
It is.
And if you were at a doctor's appointment by yourself, okay, fine. But if you were there with an abuser and she asked that, of course you're going to be like, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And so we're kidding around about it, but then it's like, that's maybe what someone who's being abused would do, is kid around about it. It was just a really weird conversation that I'm like, there's obviously nothing to worry about with us, but inside of that venue, it would have been a question better asked privately. You know?
Well, I may have told you this story years ago. My mom fell when she was going to her car after work. After a long day of work, she's walking to her car, falls down these flight of stairs.
Drunk.
Falls on her face, okay? And at first, on your face, it doesn't look bad. She just had a little minor cut under her eye, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, overnight, it blows up to the point where she can't open that eye because it's that swollen.
Wow.
And so Dad's like, I'm going to take you to the hospital because you may have broke something in
I
your
would
face.
have let someone else take her.
Well, he wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
So he goes to the hospital, takes her in to the ER, and the first question they ask her is, we would like to talk with you privately.
Oh, wow.
And they take my dad out of the room.
Yeah.
And then they ask her, how did this really happen?
And I get it because like in those situations, women are scared. They're gonna lie if the abuser is there, like all of that, and they're honestly trying to protect that person, which is a really good thing. But then when you're like, oh no, she just fell. Oh great, I shouldn't say that. But then it can look like it was you. There is a story in the news of this guy that went to jail for killing his wife, but the wife's best friend actually killed her and set it up to make it look like he did it.
Wait,
like crazy.
what?
I know, right?
I think I lost myself in that one.
Okay, I know crime podcasts. Okay, so married couple.
Yeah.
Guy's murdered. Or
Her husband?
Wife is murdered. Okay.
Okay.
So wife's best friend.
Which was a guy?
No, girl.
Oh.
Actually killed the wife.
Oh.
And then she set it up and staged it so it would look like the husband did it.
Whoa.
Yes, and she somehow got life insurance out of it because I guess
Hats
the wife
off
had
to
changed
her.
it. I know, right?
How do you plan that?
Did you say
Exactly.
hats off to her?
She did,
Well,
'cause
it
she's-
takes
like
a
you're
lot
impressed?
of planning. I mean, it's not
You scare
good,
me.
but
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that like you're trying to protect somebody, but you can look super guilty, and then that makes you look even guiltier.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when the things that you say. When my daughter fell at Costco when she was like 4. And
She fell.
Or no, she was
Wink,
3. I know my
wink.
wife was with her, and
Nudge.
when the doctor asked her how she fell, she's like, "You pushed me, mommy." And my wife's like, "No, I did not." And like she meant that like Haley thought that her mom, that Marty like jiggled the bench they were on, and that caused her to fall off. Like when she got in it. And for years we made a joke about this with my wife, and it made her so upset every time.
Aw.
Like she was like, "I did not push her." We're like, "It's not what the kid says."
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's rough.
Yeah. So anyway,
Kids
okay.
don't need to know the power that they have over
No, absolutely not.
their parents.
I want to share this with you because we have a voicemail line that when you call the station, if we're not here, it goes to a voicemail. And Becca went through some of them and pulled a couple and sent them to me. And I just want to share these. Betty and Gavin have not heard these. I want to share these with you so you can see the difference in emails or voicemails and emails and things like that Betty Rock and I get. Okay, so here is a tale of two emails. This is our voicemails. This is a voicemail for Betty Rock.
Hey, Betty, this is Melissa in Louisville, and I just wanted to encourage you that you do not need to overcome your roots or your accent or change anything about yourself because that is who God made you to be. He gave you that lovely, wonderful accent. You are beautiful, and you are enough, and you don't have to listen to Wally when he makes fun of you.
Yeah,
Have a great day.
Well, what was it the other day where I was telling you that story about the cop, and I said he came over the hill.
Heel, yeah.
And I didn't even realize.
Instead of hill.
That's
Hill.
just funny.
Yeah.
Hill.
Yeah. But
Hill.
I mean,
it
she's
makes sense now, but
so sweet.
Hill.
And just like, hey,
Hill.
you know what, girl? God made you how he is.
That's the way God made me.
And if we say anything, it's out of love.
Yeah.
It's out of care.
Just
'Cause
loves you.
You're the one who's taking up arms against your accent more than we
Yeah.
have.
I think I love my accent.
Oh, we do.
I
What
too.
I have been told that I have, because I don't hear it. But I enjoy other people that have Southern accents.
Yours is not as prevalent as other people.
No.
But I would say the only reason that I'd want to get rid of it, get rid of it is not the word, it's turn it off and turn it on, is for the career that I'm in, like the path that I'm on.
Right.
If you don't have an accent, you can get a lot further.
Sure. Well,
All that.
all of this to say, loves Betty Rock. Everybody loves Betty Rock. Here's the email I get.
I've been excited. To
Yeah,
hear
this is
this.
the voicemail that I got.
Yeah, I'm just calling to let you know that I used to really love and enjoy your station, but this Wally show all the time, you seem like you act like a teenager. Because you know something? You're becoming like the world. And then you're always talking about, oh, go get a tattoo of the Lord on your arm. Go do this and that. And God says, do not cut your arm and put ink on it. And a lot of times your Wally show, you seem like you're always getting into worldly ways too much, and you're slipping and sliding, and I think you need to ask God to remove your blind spots and your darkness. And in a lot of things you're doing right now, begging for money again. The more money you're getting, I think the more greedy you're becoming, like the Lord says in the Bible. I think you're just becoming too much like the world sometimes, and when you're talking about the things that you do in your own life, sometimes it doesn't sound right to me, and it doesn't sound like you're really living a righteous, pure, clean life, okay? Well, you do whatever, okay? I pray that you just will start listening better to the Lord and following Him and not just what you want for yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Not even close to visceral, not even close to like, she didn't even sound mad.
Yeah, and there's a good 2.5 minutes of that. That's just the edited version.
That's a bummer.
About how many times she told me that I look like the world, blah, 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 blah. So anyway.
And she's going at like, it's
yeah,
very
like
much
support
directed.
drive is my
she
fault.
She kind of talks about like she said the Wally show.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she's really going
she's talking about me.
right at you.
Yeah. And I love how that like raising money is my fault. Like I choose to do that, and I choose to do it
for money
as much
again.
as we do. It's like, oh my gosh, lady, if you had any idea, if you only knew.
Are you going to change your ways?
No, no, because I don't feel I have to. That's the funny thing is the ivory tower that she's in. She's like, and I just pray that the Lord convicts you about your ways and your blind spot. Well, wait, you're saying I have, problems in a blind spot. I don't see it, and like, well, because I have a blind spot. But no, like it's her moral judgment on me that I have the problem. And it's like, well, you're speaking for the Lord. You're not a prophet. And you have no influence in my life whatsoever because you have no relationship with me, so you don't know me.
I like her. I think she has a great point, and I stand beside what she claims.
Of course, everybody feels that way.
You need to speak truth and not lies.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's what. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you got drug into that too because it's the Wally show.
Do y'all might not because y'all wear headphones that are different from me. I don't know why I'm feeling very ADD today, but
I feel
my headphones,
they hurt your ears.
No, do they sometimes like tickle your ears, like in the inside? I think sometimes
they
the
vibrate.
sound waves or
Right.
something tickle the inside of my ears, and
Right.
sometimes I have to just be like,
Right. When I wear those kind, it will. Yeah, but
That's
I
crazy.
wear the regular outside the
I don't
head
feel that.
ears.
I
Not
don't
on
do that
these.
because it hurts my
Your hair.
my hair.
And your beautiful earrings. And
Thank you. Yeah, all that
those
too.
Those are
Well,
big.
Wally
you
should
can
deal
still
with
wear them
that.
with earrings. Yeah.
Wally should
his
deal
are
with
flat.
that.
His are flat.
Yeah, that's true. Mine, like the studs
Yours
that I
are
wear,
Christmas
they dig
ornaments.
into the back. Thank you. They dig into the back of my head, and that hurts.
Do you remember the time that
You slam me into a wall.
I checked you into a wall so hard, but my earring got stuck in my neck. She hit we were doing
That's
this thing
terrible.
out in the lobby area, and it was competitive, and I really
didn't
went too
need
hard.
to be
no,
competitive. It was
100%. I went so hard, and I checked her like a hockey check, and it was such an overreaction. But somehow in that hit, my earring got jammed into my neck, and Katie Rose, who used to work on the show, had to take pliers to actually dig it out of my neck.
That's disgusting.
So yeah. All right. Let me see. Panera Bread. They're actually giving out
heard about this.
a warning about their highly caffeinated lemonade drinks after a lawsuit was filed from a woman who died drinking it.
Shocking.
Yeah, I dug into this because it didn't seem right, but apparently their lemonade drink, it's an energy kind of drink, but they weren't marketing it like that at the time. And this girl who drank it, she had a problem, like a congenital heart problem, and was very cautious about it and would never drink coffee and things like that because the caffeine could affect her.
I've been there.
Yeah, I know. Caffeine makes your heart race. And so what's sad about this is this 21-year-old college student, she had cardiac arrest after drinking one of them.
Whoa.
And it's because it wasn't marketed at the time as a energy drink. Because if it was an energy drink, she probably
wouldn't have
would have
done
known
it. I
to
wouldn't
stay
have done
away.
it either.
Right.
Yeah, I still don't drink energy drinks. And I don't think I have a heart condition, but I am susceptible to heart palpitations.
Yeah.
I have been since I was like a teenager. And so my doctor has said any kind of caffeine can make you have more heart palpitations. But as I've been told that later on, now I drink sweet tea and coffee.
You drink a lot of sweet tea.
But I mean, I'm just looking at this 20 ounces, 260 milligrams, 30 ounces, which is probably where I'd lean, like 390.
Well,
I mean,
the
a normal,
FDA says 400.
Yeah, a normal human shouldn't go over 400 in a day, I believe.
Yeah, that's what the FDA recommends. So, I mean, she was well under it, but again, she wouldn't be dead if it wasn't for the extenuating
Her body's
circumstance.
different
right.
than a normal.
And so I get that if you weren't marketing or telling people, then you should. But it's sad that somebody loses their life over something like that. It's crazy. But Dunkin' should put a warning on my coffee. Just when they serve it to me, they should just have a warning sticker that puts it on there because it's way over that 400 milligrams of sugar.
Well, yeah, it's not just for the caffeine. It's the caffeine, it's the sugar.
So it's all the things.
It's messy.
Yeah, it's all the things. But that was.
But it is
really
sad because she was young, and they said that she went into cardiac arrest right there. With her friends, and that's got to be traumatic. And she wouldn't have done it had she.
I was glad that I looked into the story a little bit because I always have this. Like, we all make judgments of things, and like I always tend to judge when someone's like lawsuit that someone is like trying to be greedy and get money out of companies for the most part, And so when I saw this, drank a lemonade, died, lawsuit, I'm like, oh, great. But then when you look into the story, you're like, this is a family that is definitely devastated by this. It shouldn't have happened. And had she just known, she could have avoided it because she avoided other things in her life. Like her roommate was saying, like she always was vigilant about it. And so it's really sad that one time cost her, I think that was a thing that landed with me the most is she's young and one momentary lapse cost her life. And that was the case with my daughter's best friend at 21 years old. One momentary lapse turning her car into a driveway. She turned in front of somebody and it killed her, and it's just, and your family is forever altered by these moments, and it's really, really sad when that happens. So hopefully they'll get that worked out so that other people don't have to deal with that, like the senseless deaths of that. Speaking of senselessness, the the student loan debt merry-go-round has not stopped spinning yet. Again, it's still going. They're moving towards the Biden administration towards narrower student loan relief, and they're trying to get that down to where more people are getting debt relief. And then they just started out sending out notices again, but there was already mistakes being made in those notices, and like a bunch of people missed their first repayment of their student loans, like, oh, not off to a good start. But they haven't let it go yet. They are still trying to get people to not have to pay their student loans. So we'll see how all that shakes out. Lady Rock, what do you got?
Well, what do I have? Oh, McDonald's. Okay, so if you are like me, you download an app and you don't even read the qualifications for accept all terms. You're just like, yeah, sure, whatever. You could be signing away your life.
Have you seen the iTunes agreement? Like when you sign up for Apple anything, it is pages and pages of tiny
Who's
print.
Who's going to read that, though?
I know someone.
And they know that we won't.
Yeah.
And then we find ourselves in a pickle.
I know someone very close to me that read it all. My mom.
She did not.
My mom read the Apple iTunes agreement. She did. And she reads all that kind of stuff.
Really?
Yes. I cannot
Has she always
believe
done that?
I don't know.
Man.
I think this might be newer. But yeah, so she read it all.
She needs more hobbies.
I'm like, okay, fine. If you're gonna hose me, you're gonna hose me anyway. Let's go.
Wow. Okay. Well, if you use the McDonald's app like I do, and I know Wally has it. Gavin, do you have it on your phone?
I probably do. I don't.
I think I deleted it because it didn't work.
Well, when you download the McDonald's app, you have to agree to the terms, of course, and.
Sorry, I was looking if I had the app. I wasn't going to TikTok.
I thought you were going to TikTok. I was literally in the middle of talking.
No, I was looking to see if I still have the app on my phone, which I actually do.
Talk about rude.
No, right there.
Anyways, this guy, he posted on TikTok that he downloaded the McDonald's app, and he was like your mom. He read the terms and conditions. And come to find out, when you click, yes, I agree, you are agreeing to waiving your right to have a trial, including a jury trial. So let's say you're one of those ladies that's like, my coffee was too hot and then it burned my lap and I'm dead.
Yeah.
Well, you can't sue because you agreed on the app that you wouldn't.
I had a lawyer one time tell me, because I was looking at starting this business that was kind of risky for people to do, and I'm like, well, so should you get like waivers and stuff like that? He's like, yeah, you can absolutely have people sign waivers for the risk, but he goes, as a lawyer, the only thing I look at and see is you knew there was a risk because you're still liable, and like they don't care. So like, yeah, ambulance chasing lawyer, yes, you signed that thing in your McDonald's app, but they're still going to sue. They obviously will. I have a contingency like that in my contract that talks about not if there's a disagreement. I'm probably not even allowed to divulge this. So anyway, I might end up having.
So anyways, here we go.
Yeah, I might end up having to enact this. But if there's a disagreement, it doesn't go to court. It goes to an arbitrator in Texas. Like you have to agree to go to this like Christian arbitration beforehand, which is actually kind of biblical. So I'm like, okay,
yeah,
fine.
they talk about like you know, like meeting together or like getting a church member involved in something. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. The worst part about the McDonald's app, though, honestly, is when you just go to the drive-thru and they ask you, using the app today? No, I'm in the drive-thru. Why would I use the app?
No, you can use when you put it in the app. Here's the thing that's good about using the app. If you go through the drive-thru, you don't have to explain your order to someone. We're like, what'd you say? No, instead you put it in the app and then you go through the drive-thru and you say, hey, I put in a mobile order for Betty.
Right.
And they're like, okay, we got it. We'll see you at the window, and that's it.
Oh, instead of parking in the parking space?
Exactly.
But I would rather park in the parking space because then I don't have to wait in line.
No.
Why?
Because sometimes they will wait till there's someone else parking in a parking spot so that they don't have to bring out one order at a time.
Oh, gee.
So you have to actually wait longer.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. I've stopped using that app, but boy, all of this has anyone seen McGriddles yet? Are they out? No, it's still too early.
We have to have our pig guts and our pig hearts.
I know. No, it's not. They're not out yet. I think it's like, it should be November though. Like we should be getting close. I just want McDonald's right now. I want fries and a Coke really badly. So, Betty, you know how I'm very skeptical about Christian movies, at least the ones I'm not in.
Of course.
So I got invited to see the movie Journey to Bethlehem, which is a musical about the birth of Christ. So right there, flags go up. I know, right? That's what I thought. But then I started thinking, they turned the story of Alexander Hamilton into a hit musical. So why not the story of Jesus? It should be better, right? Yeah. So I go to an advanced screening of the movie Journey to Bethlehem. And I have to tell you, at first I was like, when they started off singing right out of the gate, I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. And I really, as I leaned into it and went with it, I'm like, man, this is actually really good. I really enjoyed it. If you loved High School Musical, Camp Rock, Glee, you and your family will love it because the guy who did a lot of the music for those shows, Adam Anders, directed and did all the music for Journey to Bethlehem.
Oh,
we're
all in this together.
We'll be singing the songs from Journey to Bethlehem like that, too. The movie stars Antonio Banderas as Herod, and I got to tell you, Joel Smallbone plays his son, and he holds his own with him scene for scene. He was amazing.
I wonder why they didn't ask you to be in it.
I don't know. Maybe because we're all in this together. That's why. Now I see it.
That's it.
So if you want to check out the movie or learn more about it, it's JourneyToBethlehemMovie.com. So let's do some birthdays, and we can wrap this up.
We only have one.
Give it to me.
And it is from Elizabeth. Elizabeth to her husband, John. Happy birthday, John. Said he will be turning 60 on today and loves the Wally Show.
Nice.
Question, does life end or begin at 60?
Ends.
Whoa. Okay. John is wondering what life will look like now.
Painful.
How? Yeah, I mean, that
slower.
Would mean I have 32 years for it to begin. I'm not. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying this old age. I know some people are like, I hit my stride at 50 and I'm enjoying it. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Christine Kane does a whole bit about, all, your greatest years ahead of you.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
60 is like the new 40.
That's what they say.
No, it's not.
I mean, as long as you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And you eat properly, you exercise. Maybe seek counseling every now and then. You could
she's just going down the list of things you don't do.
You could live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, she's trying to help me.
I'm just saying, 60 is when you're getting closer to retirement, so you don't have to work.
That part I like. Like I've actually come to terms. I've come to terms with retiring. Like I've come to terms with, hey, when it's time to stop and go and travel, do whatever. Like that part I love. But I also, though, wrestle with the reality that more than half of my life is up. or at least I hope so. I don't want to live to be 102.
No.
It's weird. Like, I feel like I'm on that down slope of my life, and that I don't enjoy. Yeah. So. All right, well, there you go.
Mortality.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
that might go down as the worst birthday that we've given yet.
Hey,
I'm so sorry.
I don't know what they were expecting there.
I don't know.
I don't think that they should have expected a super positive answer there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, and then we were at the doctor's the other day, and the one of the first questions is like, have either of you experienced depression in the last 30 days? And my wife's like, no, and I don't say anything, and she looks at me, and she's like, have you been depressed? And I'm always kind of depressed. Like define that. Like I'm always a little sad,
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, really? And I'm like, well, you kind of do it to me.
Again, things you shouldn't say out loud at the doctor.
Oh man! All right, well there you go. Happy birthday.
Wait, you have to say it like an old man.
There you go.
Happy birthday. I wish I could do my Biden. I don't do enough impressions.
No, you do Bernie.
Bernie. Hey, happy birthday. Get off my lawn. All right, that's going to do it for your Aftercast. Thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.